Welcome to weight loss journaling, arguably one of the best kept secrets for losing weight. So journaling generally involves the practice of keeping a diary or a journal that's going to explore your thoughts, your feelings and actions around your life events. So some quick research. In a study of nearly 1,700 participants showed that keeping a food diary can double a person's weight loss. Those who kept daily food records lost twice as much as those who kept no records at all. So it seems that the act of simply keeping a record of what you're eating and writing it down encourages people to consume fewer calories. And that was published in 2008, and it's available at www.sciencedaily.com. So here are three quick additional benefits why I think keeping a journal is important. First of all, it's going to provide you with a snapshot of your week. It's going to provide you with a picture of your month, and it's also going to provide you with a story for your whole year. Now, I think when you keep a weight loss journal like that accurately, it's going to enable you to recognize your successes as you're having them, because we can forget those. It's going to allow you to make improvements very, very quickly, because it'll be quite obvious if it's written down where you need to make improvements. And it's also going to help you to recognize repeated behaviors that you may be having, so you can, behaviors that are possibly derailing you, so you can anticipate and plan for them and hopefully plan a way around them or avoid certain situations. So let's start off with the obvious things you'd expect to find in a weight loss journal. First of all, your starting weight, then you've got your goal weight. And next to your goal weight, I'd also attach a time frame for that, because that's going to help to keep you motivated, keep you focused, keep you on track. Then you've got your body measurements, typically thighs, hips, any upper body measurements you might like to take as well can be recorded there. We've also got eating plan. I think an eating plan is really, really important. Ideally, you're going to write that eating plan for the week ahead. I think that's the best way of doing it. If your preference is to write down after you've eaten, you could do that as well. But I think writing it ahead of time takes it out of your head, and it's one less thing to think about. It's going to make it far easier for you to concentrate on what you need to be doing. And of course, an exercise plan, planning out your weekly exercise activities. If it's planned, if it's in your diary, there's every possibility it's going to happen. If it's not in your diary, then there's every possibility that it won't happen. So those are some of the obvious things you'd expect to record. Coming up next are some of the less obvious things you'd expect to find in a weight loss journal. So here are some of the less obvious things you're going to find in a weight loss journal, and the things that we include in our Think Different weight loss journal at Coach Me Slim and Trim. So let's just go through them. The first one is personal recognition, and that's to do with the wins you've had in the week just gone by. So you start off the new week by identifying and remembering the successes you had in the previous week. And they don't need to be monumental successes, they can be small wins that you've had, but it's just a great way to start the week off, with that sort of feel-good factor going forwards. Another thing you might want to consider recording is the week ahead. So looking at the goals you have for the week, and that's just not necessarily about weight loss goals. It could be personal goals, social goals, work goals. Ideally just pick one big one, and then once you've picked that for the week ahead, think about any challenges around achieving that particular goal, and then let's say think about one way of overcoming that particular challenge. So let's give you an example if it were related to weight loss specifically. So let's say your goal is to eat a healthy lunch every day. But your challenge for that week is you're going to be traveling up and down the motorway 2 or 3 times that week. So how are you going to overcome that challenge? How are you going to be able to eat healthily for that week? Well, one of the solutions might be you get yourself a cooler box and some Tupperware boxes. So that's just one simple example if you're relating it to weight loss. Something else I think you need to have in there is me time, and that's time where you literally sit and just relax. And that's not time to sit and watch TV. That's not time to sit and plan. It's not time to sit and have a chat with your friends. It's literally, it could be as little as 2 to 3 minutes, 5 minutes, where you just sit, you're quiet, and just allow your mind to quieten itself down. It's amazing how infrequently people actually do that. And I don't say I do it all the time myself, because I don't, but I do try and take out some time just to sit and be quiet and just let my mind settle. And then you've got weight loss milestone celebrations. I think it's important to celebrate certain milestones that you achieve, so you feel a sense of success when you hit a particular milestone. And you can decide what those milestones are going to be. I mean, typically I always say around about 7 pounds, because that's halfway to a stone. 10 pounds is normally a close size, and then you can decide thereafter where the milestones are going to be. And then finally, I think what's coming up in the next 3 months, looking ahead well in advance, any social events coming up, birthdays, anniversaries, trips away, courses, anything at all that's going to potentially disrupt your eating habits, your exercise habits, and just your general equilibrium, really. And if you can, anticipate that ahead of time, you can then start to make some plans to mitigate against that derailing you from your efforts to lose weight. So I hope you found that useful, that quick overview to do with journaling. We do have our own journal called the Think Different Weight Loss Journal, which can be found on Amazon. If you go to Amazon and just type that in, you'll find it. And again, it's something that I find that when people get involved in journaling, if they're serious about wanting to lose weight, having it written down, it hasn't got to be perfect, but just the mere act of writing down just a couple of lines even, it hasn't got to be to the extent of what I've just described. It could just be literally a little bit of food, a little bit of exercise, but the mere fact you're keeping it conscious in your mind is going to help you immensely in terms of staying on track, staying focused, and just generally keeping your motivation going. So get journaling.